Alright, we are all set up now. What is up, everybody? This is your boy, AJ Tripp, and welcome to the rapid reaction of WrestleMania 35. Excuse me, it's been a long day for me. It's been a long day for a lot of people, especially with WrestleMania. I know the UK folks are out, probably up way up in the morning watching this. Been seven hours. It was started or damn close to 7 hours. It was started at five. No. It did start. It did start at 4. This is almost 8 hours. It started at 4 local time here in Chicago, and it is right now. It's 11:37. So yeah, we're talking about 7.5 hours of wrestling. And a lot of people say, is it too long? Listen, I don't know if it's too long. The ideal would be no. This is what I'm okay with. I'm okay with doing a 4 hour pay-per-view for Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania. Maybe even Money in the Bank. Although we now know they also don't see it as a big fight because it's going to be the next one right after WrestleMania. So I don't think they're not looking for this big fight. They have a big 4. So Joe's big 4 were 4 hours, 4 hour pay-per-views. But as long as it stayed in that 4 hour range, like if it starts at 6, it should end sometime before 10, maybe 2 or 3 minutes afterwards. But we shouldn't be going to 10:30 Chicago time at 6 o'clock start. And we don't need a 2 hour pre-show. We need a 1 hour pre-show. You could have one match on the show. Do what you gotta do, and then when 6:40 comes around, it's the match, and then you have the match for about 15-minute match. And then you finish off the rest of the pre-show. 1 hour pre-show. You don't need 2 hour pre-show. You really don't. So, but yeah, go ahead and let's start with the review of WrestleMania. We'll start with the matches that happened on the kickoff show. First was the Cruiserweight title between Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese. I thought this had some good action. This has some good character work. Obviously, Buddy Murphy does really good. I haven't seen a lot of Tony Nese, but Tony Nese, he's obviously in great shape. That's his gimmick. He called himself the premier athlete, and he's also but I thought he was very good. I thought this match was solid. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't think it was nothing special. It wasn't really anything like a lot of the other matches I've seen Buddy Murphy have, but it was particularly well done. And then we had the Women's Battle Royal. Excuse me, like I said, I'm tired, and I'm after I do this, I'm gonna get some sleep. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get some sleep, and I may try to edit a video for you. Edit the takeover video so that for you guys can see it tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not sure. I am so damn tired. So yeah. So it is. So I'll try to get the takeover video to you tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna edit tonight. So I'm gonna edit it sometime tomorrow and have it for you. So click the notification bell so that you get all my notifications. So the takeover New York video it'll be up. It won't be up as I thought it would be in the morning, but it'll be up. Don't worry. But next match is the Women's Battle Royal, and all the women came down in with the generic. It was with the what's the name video. It was with the what's the name music, the WrestleMania theme music. And then Naomi got an entrance and Asuka got an entrance. So I mean that's I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they give certain people entrances and They don't give like at at Evolution, everybody got their music played. Everybody got the music played. Now I know it's a long ramp to the ring or something like that, but still everybody can get the music played. You know, everybody should get their music played, especially for the women. For the men, I understand because it was like, there was like 20, 30 men in that ring, but there was only like maybe 10 or 15 women at most. So yeah, that didn't need to, you didn't need to do that. So, but anyway, I thought it was interesting the way it came down to it. It was like Sarah Logan and Sonya Deville and Asuka, and Sarah Logan throws out Asuka, but then Carmella, you know, comes from out of the ring, says hi boo, and then she throws out Sarah Logan and she becomes the women's battle royal winner. This was two and a quarter star. I had like no problem with this. I really didn't, but I will say this: I don't know. This was the same thing from last year. This was the same thing from last year. It really was. That's exactly what happened last year. Bailey threw out someone, and I think Sasha Banks and maybe someone else. But then Naomi came in, and then she threw out Bailey, and then she won. So it was the same thing. They just it's almost like they forget that this happened, that they did that last year. And then and then none of the girls speak up and say, that happened last year. None of the girls say that to Vince or anybody backstage. So I don't know. But Carmella won, and with Carmella winning, I thought that was going to be the theme for R-Truth winning the male battle royal, but that did not happen. We'll get to that in a second. The next match was the Raw Tag Title match, and it was the Revival, the champions, versus Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. And this was good. This is solid tag team effectiveness at its best, and it was good. So and we got a surprise win. We got the Bret Hart faking down, and Bret Hart did the Diesel at Survivor Series '95. We got that with that match, and then Kurt Hawkins did it and rolled up Scott Dawson of the Revival, and they won, and they became the Raw Tag Team Champions. So wow, there we go, 3 and a quarter star. I thought this was a really, really good match. Again, I say it many a time. I say it again. A good. It almost seems like if a tag match is, when you do it right, it doesn't have to be Ricochet and Black versus the War Raiders. But if you can do it good, if you can do it confidently, it's gonna be good. So, and that's what it was. It was really good. Then of course the next match was the men's battle royal. It was everybody, a whole bunch of people, and they really, I don't know what the hell they were doing this one, because what they did was they had everybody come down to the ring in with the theme, WrestleMania theme song, and then Colin Jost and Michael Che, they got an entrance. So they got an entrance, and then it was the Hardy Boys, and the Hardy Boys get an entrance. So then what they do is that when the Hardy Boys come down and they get the entrance, they then go back up to Coach and them that was sitting up at the pre-show, and they talking, and they're just talking with the Hardy Boys music going in the background, and they do this for about 5 minutes. And I don't know what they were doing. I really don't. It was starting to piss me off. I mean, uh, and then so then when they finally go back downstairs, it's to the table. Then comes Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman comes out, match starts, and it's the biggest cluster F as battle royals are. People are getting thrown out left and right. Colin Jones and Michael Chase, they get under the ring, and they get under the ring. They stay under the ring to the end of the match when the Hardy Boys are trying to dump Braun Strowman. So they get out. So they get out from under the ring. They try to help. It doesn't work. Braun Strowman eliminates the Hardys. So then, when it's those two, Colin Jones grabs the microphone and he brings out this indie guy, um, to be the therapist. He wants to be a therapist. So then that happens, and then they do all this other stuff. He beats up the therapist. He throws him out, and then Che decides that, well, listen, I've had fun, but it's time for me to go. He tries to do a Drew Carey from the 2001 Royal Rumble. However, Braun catches him and gives him a big slap in the chest, and he falls. So now it's just down to Jost and Braun, and they do the whole thing, and they even tease a spot where Braun tries to give a running boot. He misses, and he puts his foot on the top rope, and then Colin Jost comes over there to kind of like kind of get him over, but he honestly he takes him out and throws him, and they get the win. So it doesn't matter. Braun gets to win, and he's the Andre Memorial Battle Royal winner. So there we go. So that was it for the kickoff show. Then here comes the main show, right? We had I'm guessing what is a beautiful rendition of American Beautiful from Yolanda Adams. I didn't particularly care for it. I didn't particularly want to hear it. I just didn't want to hear it. So whatever. And then after that, as my foot starts to get a little numb, so then after that, we got Alexa Bliss doing the hosting duties, and she's talking, and and as she starts to talk, she says, "You want a WrestleMania moment?" You can't see me over the chat box. She says, "You want to see a WrestleMania moment?" She snaps her fingers, and out comes Hulk Hogan, and the crowd goes wild. Well, some members of the crowd go wild. Other members are, Have you not seen the picture going around social media of when Hulk Hogan was introducing Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and it's just the picture in the background where it's the New Day, who apparently all last night at the Hall of Fame they were bumping and grinding and dancing and stuff, and they were being the New Day. But when Hulk Hogan came out there, they were not. They were stone faced. They were, it was, and it looked like a couple other people were doing it too. From the other side, from what I can see, it looked like Miss Jacqueline was doing it, and maybe like one of the Usos might have been doing it as well. So I know Hogan still is he's still what he is. He's still what he is. I mean, listen, I said this before. He's not. He's not going to get the benefit of the doubt. From a lot of people, he just isn't. People have said that his apology that happened, it didn't come off genuine. It didn't come off. It didn't come off as if he was it came off as that, not that if he was sorry that he used a word that that causes hurt in people. He was sorry that he got caught using that word. And so yeah, so and you know the New Day and Titus O'Neil and I'm sure many of the other members of that roster. Uh, they don't have to be black people. I don't think that Tyler Breeze is a big fan of Hulk Hogan. I mean, I think that was one thing when I think when someone talked about Hulk Hogan made some comment on the thing about being jacked, more jacked than people the people that were on the roster not right now. I think he made something that he wasn't going to, know, mention. He said something about he wasn't going to comment about what he said or anything like that. But he did something like that. But he's obviously not a fan. I don't think maybe a lot of other people are fans of his either. Um, and listen, and in the world we live in right now too as well. We live in a cancel culture world right now, and I don't like it per se. I don't like it per se because I think we are human. We are flawed beings, and we can make mistakes, really really bad mistakes of saying words that we should not say, of doing things that we should not be doing. But we can overcome and show that we're not that person. But in this case of Hogan, he just hasn't shown in a lot of people's eyes that wasn't you know that he's not that person. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. He came out, he did his shtick. He made fun of himself by saying the silver, like as he did for WrestleMania 30 when he called the Superdome the Silver Dome. He made that joke and it was funny. And then I don't know if this was on purpose or if it was real, but then he called MetLife Stadium MetLife Center. And if he did that on purpose, that was awesome. If he really did mistakenly call MetLife Stadium MetLife Center, then we should never. Then Hogan should just. Hogan should never. He should not try to talk about names of stadiums, anything like that. He should just. If you're gonna come out, just do what you're gonna do, brother. When Hulkamania runs wild on you, and then go back off. He should not try to talk about the stadiums because he gets them wrong. He gets them wrong. So there's no need to do that. And then him and Alexa Bliss are doing the Hogan poses and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, Paul Heyman walks out. And he's power walking to the ring, and then he gets on the microphone and he says that Brock Lesnar's not going on last, then we're not going to be here all night. So we're going on first. Basically what he said. He didn't say that exactly, but I'm just paraphrasing. Brock Lesnar comes out, and then everybody act like this is a shock thing. I think maybe even Seth Rollins says that it's like he kind of feels like he's soft, and he's kind of like stuttering and stammering, like, okay, I wasn't ready for this, but here we go. We're just gonna do this, and it's where it's not a match. As he gets ready, Brock jumps him and he beats him up outside. It's an F5 before he throws him into the ring, throws him on tables, and does all of this stuff. And then they get the thing, and then they finally get in the ring. They finally ring the bell, and then as Brock's trying to beat him up and something like that, they do a spot, and then Seth Rollins pushes Brock into the ref. The ref he doesn't get hit by Brock. He ducks and rolls out of the ring, and while he rolls out of the ring, Seth Rollins hits him in the nuts. He hits him in the nuts, and then 1, 2, 3 stomps. You're out, Brock Lesnar, the winner and new Universal Champion, Seth Rollins. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. It really is. And it's amazing to me for so many things. It's amazing to me because what they did with Seth Rollins is what they really kind of should have done with Roman Reigns. It really should have been. They really should have done that with Roman Reigns with Brock Lesnar. Last year, or not even if not last year. At the first Saudi pay-per-view, whatever, the Greatest Royal Rumble. But that was in a steel cage. But so I found it really interesting that what they did with Seth Rollins on Monday Night, where they left Brock laying. He left Brock laying. That's something that Roman had never done. So it was all surprising to me, but it's probably something maybe now they kind of learned their lesson, and maybe they're through with the Brock Lesnar story. There was some rumors that Brock Lesnar and UFC and Brock Lesnar want to have a fight for the heavyweight championship of Daniel Cormier later on in the year. So maybe that's it. So yeah, new champion, and so we'll see where they go with Seth Rollins, the Universal Champion. The match, I gave it 1.5 star. It was 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes around there, maybe. Quick where that's what Brock does nowadays. He doesn't do long matches really anymore. Does short matches, and so yeah, that was exactly what it was. The next fight was AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Now, I had this stated as the match to steal the show, the match to maybe possibly be the best of the night, the match to be maybe the possibility for having Randy Orton's first 5-star match, and it just didn't turn out that way. The match was good. I got it at 3 stars. I will say this: one thing that was really, really interesting to try and figure out is that I guess there was some structure problems because I guess the lights were blinding a lot of the fans. They couldn't see anything, and so all throughout this match they were chanting, turn the lights off and we can't see and everything like that. So very, very distracting. That they were more worried about the light, and I guess I can understand it, but it's because I guess if you can't see the match, you can't get into the match. But and to be honest, the crowd. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it was a bad crowd. The crowd the only thing the crowd seemed to be into was the Kofi Daniel Bryan match. That was the only thing they were into. So yeah, that's just what it was. So once again, I had it at 3 stars. And the winner was AJ Styles. AJ actually kicked out of the RKO. I don't know when the last time, if ever, somebody has kicked out of the RKO. I'm assuming that someone has at some point. Someone, a CM Punk or a John Cena has probably kicked out of an RKO. Maybe even an Edge. Someone has kicked out of an RKO. I can't remember the last time it happened. And so AJ Styles did, and then he won with the phenomenal forearm. So 3 stars, good match. Kind of disappointed it wasn't much better than I predicted. So then after that was a SmackDown Tag Team match between the Usos, Ricochet and Black, The Bar, and Rusev and Nakamura. And this match was good. This was the best spot in this match, might even been the best part of the night, was Cesaro is spinning around doing the airplane, not the airplane spin, but the, the grab his legs and spin with Ricochet, while Sheamus is almost with everybody else seemingly is on the thing doing the 10 beats of the Bowery, and he's just beating him, and then he'll go and he'll grab another person and beat on him, and then he'll grab another person and beat on him. So that might have been the best. I believe that was the best spot of the night through any match. So yeah, it was some great spots. We got the Usos pinning pinning Sheamus to win and retain. I had it at 3 3/4 stars. It was good. It was good. It was fun. I think it's very hard. It's very hard for a multi tag team match like this without there being some type of stipulation like a ladder match or a tables match or something. I think that's probably it probably did need to be a ladder match. It really did, because it just even though it was good, it kind of just didn't click, I think. And when you're talking about, like, once again, you're talking about Ricochet and Russo talking coming off of the NXT Takeover match that they had Friday. That was incredible. I gave it 5 stars. Once again, my review of it will be up tomorrow. They had some good stuff here tonight. Brian, if you're talking about like no rapid reaction for NXT Takeover, I was busy Friday, so I did not see it live. I saw it Saturday afternoon, and like I just said, I recorded a review of it, and it'll be up tomorrow. So make sure that you got the notification bell clicked and everything like that, so that you get the notification of the NXT Takeover show tomorrow. So then they go to the Hall of Fame, recap of the last night's festivities and everything like that. And by the way, I put this out on Twitter, and I'm going to say this now. A big fuck you to the dude who attacked Bret Hart. I mean, really. I mean, I don't know what you did. Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic, he said it best. That dude was not a fan. That's not what fans do. Fans rush the ring. I would call somebody who rushes the ring to get on TV and, hey, look at me, I'm a jackass. That's a fan who's like drunk. Okay, that's a fan who's drunk. But somebody who rushes the ring to attack is not a fan. He should not be called a fan. And he got his ass whooped by Travis Brown, Ronda Rousey's husband, by David Hart Smith, Dash Wilder. At the end, he gave him a sucker punch. And I'm not someone who is for street justice at any time. I'm not someone like that. I don't think that's right. You go by you go by the law. You play by the law. But I'm glad he got his butt kicked. Are you in England, Brian? Are you over in England and over in Europe somewhere? It's 6 a.m. there. I started this stream saying I felt bad for the people in the UK because they had Ireland, because they had it was so late, and then there was 7 hours, so they had to stay up, because like the pay-per-view must have started there. What? It started at 11 p.m. there. I guess maybe even midnight. So it was. It's been a long night for you guys over in Ireland and the UK and everywhere over there in Europe. So that's amazing. That's amazing. 602 there. So they do the Hall of Fame recap. Everybody comes on stage and they do everything. And um, the kickoff show started at 10, and then the show started at wow. Oh man, that's that's incredible. It's incredible. You got it is amazing. It is amazing. I guess see. I wonder. So see if they ever did a WrestleMania like in London or somewhere in Europe, if the kickoff show was at 10, it was 4 here in Chicago. So that means that you have to be in work in 3 hours. Oh boy, I you got. I don't know. Are you gonna be able to get any sleep? Are you just gonna say screw it? I'm up. Let me get ready for work. Then I'll try to make it through the day with no sleep. Wow. But yeah, that's I think that's why like the UK and London probably would never get a Super Bowl. They probably would never get a WrestleMania. Probably would never get you know anything like that. You know, so it's kind of a shame because I think you guys are good fans and I think you guys would I think you guys would enjoy WrestleMania, in particular WrestleMania weekend. I think that's what you would enjoy the entire weekend because everybody goes to WrestleMania weekend. So, it is becoming an event. So I think you guys will enjoy it. And as for the Super Bowl, you guys aren't big football fans over there. So I don't know if it matters if you guys get the Super Bowl. But yeah, definitely WrestleMania for WrestleMania weekend. Or even maybe like like SummerSlam maybe. A SummerSlam. Like you had it over there at Wembley Stadium in back in the 90s. So I think maybe if you got something, if you got SummerSlam maybe, or like the Royal Rumble even. So oh wow, yeah, you talking about a grand for the plane ticket. Yeah, I bet it's expensive. I bet it's expensive without question. And so yeah, with recap and everything, um, condolences to Tori Wilson. Apparently, her father passed away um, sometime this past weekend. I don't know if it was actually yesterday or if it was like Friday. I'm not sure. But I know I saw it on Twitter. So condolences to her um, losing her father. Um, but yeah, so once again, big fuck you to the guy who tagged Bret Hart. Um, then they went to the Falls Count Anywhere match between The Miz and Shane McMahon, and I really, it was on Twitter. I saw it yesterday, but I don't know if it was a tweet from yesterday or if it was a tweet from Friday. So, but yeah, condolences go out to her. Um, so yeah, the Falls Count Anywhere match, and this was something I thought that was. It was I was kind of upset to be very honest with you about it because of the finish. Because I guess I really thought that this was this went the way it should have went. It just went by the Miz beating the hell out of Shane McMahon for about 20 minutes for for grabbing onto his father, and and even the fact that he at one point he hits the Miz, he busts him open, um, but and he's going for the elbow off the top onto the table where Miz is laying, and Miz's father gets in the way. Says no, and the Miz's father gets in the ring, and it's even like he's even got like a bad fighting stance, and apparently it's already a meme on the internet. You know what the internet does with this, because it's already a meme. I saw something or something like this where it's like and it's just like this is how I sweep the floor or something. It was something like that. So he was doing a really bad boxing boxing thing. So and then Shane attacked him again. The Miz came and again beat him up. This was incredible. He was throwing him this way and throwing him that way, and and just throwing him off of stuff and hitting him in the face with the stuff. And he does his move where they get to a platform where and you knew where it was going. It was going to be a platform where Shane was going to do something. He was either going to jump from somewhere or be thrown off of something. And the Miz suplexes him off the thing onto a canvas where that was obviously gimmick so that they could land safely. But the way they land, Shane lands on top of the Miz. And so the referee counts 1, 2, 3, and Shane McMahon wins. I was upset about that. Shane McMahon did not need that win. That should have been Miz's win, and it should have been, and it was just awful. So. Do you mean 8 years? You boxed for 8 years? Because you couldn't have boxed for 80 years. If you did box for 80 years, you look good for a 110-year-old man. So yeah, 8 years. Yeah. That's what I thought. But so. I just that finish was just not good. Then we had the women's tag match between and Sasha Banks and Bayley, the champions, Nia Jax and Tamina, the Iconics, and Beth and Natalia, and a really good call back here to have Natalia come out in a jacket, have Beth come out in a jacket, both dressed same in the pink and the black, and then Bret Hart came out to give both of them like some good luck or something like that. So really nice moment, obviously. Of course, they did a heart attack within the match as for Anvil. Ever since the Anvil passed, more and more teams seem to be doing, if not the exact heart attack, they're doing some type of version of that. So yeah, it was it was special, very very special. The match was not special. Once again, I think that this was just 4 teams. It was just a bit of a cluster. It really was. I know all the girls tried hard, but it just really was, and that's something that something that the WWE needs to stop doing. They need to stop doing so many multi-men, multi-women matches just so everybody gets on a WrestleMania card. Sorry, everybody can't be on the WrestleMania card. They just can't. And again, if you're gonna do a multi-woman match like that, it should be a ladder match or a table match. Something that would involve something so that there would be more action. More action maybe. more something to it. And especially when you have a couple of people in Nia Jax and Tamina who, listen, for what they're worth, not to be, um, you know, harsh or anything, but I, I, I think Tamina's injuries are just not, are just not, has taken any type of athleticism that she had away from her, unfortunately. And I just don't think Nia Jax is really that good. I don't think Nia Jax, at this point. The only time she does good is when she's with Ronda Rousey. So, so Iconics won the women's tag division, has died. No, I wouldn't say that. Iconics did win the match. Um, I do think that they haven't looked they haven't looked really good on the that probably is true. They didn't want to do a ladder match because Money in the Bank is going to be the next pay per view, so they probably didn't want to do a ladder because there's probably going to be two, if not three. There was supposed to be three last year. There's supposed to be a men's and women's and a tag one, and so there may be three this year. But I don't know if the Iconics has died. The Iconics is they're not that. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're average when it comes into their in-ring stuff. They're average, but they're more about the characters and something like that. So I would probably say that is the reason why there wasn't a ladder match. The next the money is the money is going to be ladder matches at Money in the Bank. So yeah, I would agree with that. So yeah, I had it at 2.5 stars. I just thought it was what it was. And like I said, I really do think that you know they really should just maybe just stick to one tag match. It doesn't really need to be or do innovative. Go back to maybe innovative. You know, they did like a couple years ago, not a couple years ago. I think it was last year, 2018. I think they experimented with doing a triple threat, and I think they experimented with a fatal four way. They experimented with both a triple threat and fatal four way tag match, where in the triple threat match, there were 3 men in the ring. In the fatal four way, there were 4 men in the ring, and they tag in. So, excuse me. I don't have any water around here. I should have got my water. But they experimented with that, and I thought both times came off good. I enjoyed both times. So maybe if they do that next time, maybe they should try with that one. Hey, listen. Some people just don't get some people. I understand it. I don't get Becky Lynch. I don't. I really don't get Becky Lynch. I'm one of the few that don't get her. So we'll get to Becky Lynch in a few. So yeah, that was the women's tournament. And then we had the next match. Seemingly the match everybody wanted to see here. Like I said, like I told you, I thought New York was a bad crowd for some reason. I don't know why they wasn't into it. Seemed like they were just quiet for a lot tonight. The only thing they should be excited for was this match, the WWE title match between Kofi and Daniel Bryan. And yeah, this was a very good match. I had 4 stars, and we had a lot of emotion. We had a lot of faith, and then in the moment when the Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise, and it's a 1, and it's a 2, and it's a 3, and the look of shock and surprise on Kofi's face is amazing. And Xavier Woods gets in, and he is already bawling his eyes out. And Big E gets in, and he starts to cry, and Kofi's got some of it too, and it's amazing. And Kofi wins. And it's a great moment. a moment that is, I don't know if it's historic. I don't want to use historic because I just think because historic was the Rock. And by the way, for those of y'all who know on Twitter, I've seen it a couple times. You know, Kofi's not the first black champion. The Rock is the first black champion. Kofi's the first black WWE champion since The Rock. You know, but he's not the very first. But again, as people really understand, it's understandable because The Rock hasn't held the WWE Championship since 2012, 2011, whatever that was. When he came back for that, for that little bit to do his thing with CM Punk and John Cena. So it's been a long time. There's new fans have come into wrestling, and they haven't seen a black wrestler hold the top prize. So I understand it, but let's get it straight. Rock's first black champion is not Kofi Kingston. But yeah, it was fantastic. What really stole the show for me was Kofi's oldest son, because as soon as E and Woods brought out the merchandise, the kid took the T-shirt, got on the rope, held it up, and then threw it in the crowd, and it was fantastic. I loved it. It was great. So it was really, really good. Shout out to Kofi Kingston. He did it. So now we see where he goes. We see how long he's gonna hold it. Is he going to get a long run, or is it going to be a short run? We'll have to wait and see, because there are going to be a lot, especially with the Superstar shakeup. There's going to be a lot of things going on. So we'll have to wait and see what goes down with Kofi Kingston. So then after that, the next match was the U.S. title match between Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe. Now, Rey Mysterio hurt his ankle on Monday Night Raw. So I think that this was a short match because of that. I do think it was a short match because of that. So we'll have to wait and see. Well, that's the thing, Brian. I think that like you said, the next pay-per-view is going to be Money in the Bank. But they've moved the Saudi Arabia show to June. So there's not like the Saudi Arabia show was going to be later on this month or even before Money in the Bank. They moved the Saudi Arabia show to June. So I'm not sure that I'm sure what happened. I'm sure what they wanted was they wanted to for the first time in a long time, the WWE wanted to give the WWE fans what they wanted, and what they wanted was Kofi Kingston to win the title. So yeah, so I think that's what I think that's why they gave it to Kofi. They put the strap on Kofi. So again, like we'll see, what kind of reign he has and what he does with it. But I think this is going to be a very, very interesting time with Kofi holding that strap. It's going to be fun. I would also say this: everybody should just hold their horses, with what does happen in the future. Because if for some reason Kofi Kingston, you know, loses it at Money in the Bank, or even loses it Tuesday night on Tuesday night on SmackDown, because Tuesday night on SmackDown, but it's not because they are it's not because of any racism or anything like that. So just don't immediately jump for that. There's another plan that they're working on. There's another plan that they're working on for the most part. And even if they don't have a plan, and this was just to give you that good feel moment, and now they want to go back to the originally scheduled program, then it's got to be it. Well, like I said, I'd like to see him have a good run too. I'd like to see him hold it until SummerSlam. I think that would be good. I think a nice SummerSlam match where he loses. I think that would be a good run for Kofi. I really do. So then we had Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. So yeah, Roman was back and coming back from leukemia, and we got Drew McIntyre who goaded him into this match, and so this match was really, really formulaic. This was basic at its best. This was a match from 1994. I think it really was. Yeah. He really has. He really has done. Really has worked hard. He really has. He really did. 11 years. So he really did. But this match was so formulaic and so basic. I've got to think that Roman isn't as well as he is. Now, the story is that once he came back, that he was that he had once again put the leukemia in remission. He immediately called Vince, told him that, and said that he wanted to come back. And if that's what he wanted to do, that's what he wanted to do. But and he hasn't had he hasn't had like a lot of matches on Raw. He had, of course, he had the one match at Fastlane with his brothers, one last Shield, and he had he was supposed to have a match, but it didn't work out. So then he has his match with Drew, and it was just again, like I said, it was basic. I gave it 2 stars. I just wonder if Roman isn't really, really fully healthy, and as they are doing the very basic with Roman, he doesn't wrestle on Monday Night Raw, and he's just going to do the things with I know there's a delay, the chat and everything like that. I know it's always like that. What can you do? But yeah, I'm not thinking you're typing slowly. I know there's a delay. Um. So yeah, and let me tell you, as a Roman guy, I'm a Roman guy. I'm a Roman fan. Everything like that. So happy that he beat cancer and everything. I'm glad that he's back and everything like that. I'm good, and I'm glad that the fans have rallied around him to give him a second chance. And I want the WWE to take a hold of this second chance and do right by Roman what they didn't do the first time with Roman. They seemingly just threw him out there. Maybe when he wasn't ready, but they just threw him out there. And then when everybody turned on him, they didn't give him the opportunity to take that and run with it. You know, and I was certain that they were going to do it. I was certain that they were going to go ahead, do what they did with The Rock, turn him heel, let him do what he had to do, and then get him back to being a babyface naturally. They didn't do that. They just threw him out there, kept getting, and as he got better and he grew, he was able to overcome that, and he was able to feed into that, but but still it just didn't work, and people got tired of him, and and the one thing and one thing that people said that I don't believe it. They say it with John Cena, and they say it with Roman Reigns, and I'm not a bit sure of that. Is that you say that they hate the character, but they don't hate the man. I know I know that I know what you mean when you say that, but I don't think that you can do that. I don't think you can hate the character or and hate the man. I think you can hate the way maybe somebody is booked. You can hate that, but to hate the character, because for the most part, for most of these, the character and the man are the same thing. They're the same person. So I don't think you can say that. Brian, I have to say that, I think you're totally wrong there. Roman Reigns has had great matches. Fantastic matches. He had fantastic matches with AJ Styles when AJ first came out. He has had fantastic matches with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, everything like that. Roman Reigns has had plenty of good matches. So maybe you haven't seen them. I would advise you to go and watch them. But Roman Reigns has had a good match. Now, the match tonight was not that good match. Like I said, I gave it 2 stars. And also, I also say this. It is, as I was saying, as being a Roman guy, I thought Drew should have won tonight. I thought Drew should have won tonight, because what you don't want, I think 2 things, right? 2 things. What you didn't want, what you don't want is you don't want the fans to immediately just say, "Oh, so Roman's back. He's all he immediately is going to get back into the main event picture, whoopee, and then start booing him again." And so that's what you want. While you have the fans on his side, rebuild him. And I think him losing tonight would have been one of the things to say, "Oh, okay, so is Seth Rollins won the Universal title. Drew McIntyre is this big bad heel. He beats Roman Reigns, so it may not go that way, right?" And then, right, Brian. It's not his fault. And then, secondly, for Drew McIntyre, right, because he had a lot of momentum. He's been looking like a killer lately, and you would have wanted him to kick. It would have been great. Whether he stays on Raw or whether he goes to SmackDown, he's a great, big, badass that you would want, to be the star. I see Drew holding either the WWE title or the Universal title sometime this year. So I thought the right way to go would have been to give Drew the victory. That didn't happen. They gave it, Roman Reigns won. I guess they wanted to have that, that feel good story with Roman, and while I can understand that, if you wanted to have Roman have the feel good story, then you should have had him fight Baron Corbin. You should have had him fight Baron Corbin. I think all of us would have said, "Hey, yeah, Roman's beating up Baron Corbin, yes." And maybe let Drew either take the night off or have him finish off Kurt Angle. But whatever it was. So after the Roman and Drew match, we get Elias in the ring. And of course, Elias was announced to be the musical guest no more Flow Rider or Pitbull or anybody else, no Snoop this year. It's Elias. And then they had some recorded things where Elias playing the piano and Elias doing these other things. It was really, really good. But then at some point, when Elias does his, you know, shut off your cell phones and shut your mouth thing, something happens. They go to the screen and then they're talking about the 1932 World Series with the Cubs and the allegedly Babe Ruth calling his shot, and then hitting a home run, and they're showing all that. And all of a sudden you hear it's basic thugonomics, and out comes John Cena with the backwards hat and the Babe Ruth jersey and the shorts and everything, and the word life and the chain on his neck, and he comes out and he does his rap, and he is hilarious. First off, he is hilarious with coming off doing this thing, and then saying some great lines. And then he even talks about saying there's he's no AA tonight. It's an FU, which the AA was originally called the FU. It was, for those want a little backstory on that. That's really quick. When Brock Lesnar was champion, he had a feud with Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar was the F5. So he came up with the Death Valley Driver, and he called it the FU. So about 3 months later, they banned the Death Valley Driver because there were so many neck injuries. If you remember around that time, if you were watching around that time, Edge had a neck injury, Chris Benoit had a neck injury, Kurt Angle had been having neck injuries. So many wrestlers was having neck injuries that they banned some moves that would cause on neck injuries, and the Death Valley Driver was one of them. So he modified it into what you see now, with what is the AA, basically the standing fireman's carry. So that being said, when WWE went PG, it went from the FU to the Attitude Adjustment, the AA, and so that was a good line. And so that's why that, if you understand that line, that's why the line was so cool. And he gives him the Five Knuckle Shuffle and the AA, and it was really cool. It was really funny. I thought this was fine. This is the second time within a month we've had a crowd notoriously that hates John Cena, the one here in Chicago and the one in New York. These are crowds that notoriously hate John Cena, cheering John Cena, cheering his name. So, 2019, what the fuck? So, it was really good. It was really fun, and it was a really cool nostalgia trip, and those are the kind of nostalgia trips I like to see. I think a lot of people like to see. I don't think we need a lot of the other ones, and we'll get to a nostalgia act. Actually, a nostalgia act coming up next. Actually, it was the No Holds Barred match between Batista and Triple H. And I'm glad they made it No Holds Barred, because to be honest with you, you could see the age in both men. You could really see the age in both men. And I'm not saying that they went out there and they didn't give it their all. I'm sure they gave it their all. They're 100%. They just didn't have it. In my eyes, they didn't have it. Again, I had it at 325 again because there was some good stuff. There was Triple H holding pliers and breaking Batista's fingers, or then there was him with needle nose pliers pulling out his nose ring. So there was some good stuff, but it was a little bit slow and plodding. So when you got two guys who are in their 50s, and it had showed, so um and it's kind of funny to see how Triple H has fallen. It really has, because when you think about Triple H, you think about and what happened last year at WrestleMania and the match that he had with in the tag match with his wife versus Ronda and Kurt Angle, and how that match stole the show. And then tonight's match was as well. And another reason why I'm very down on this match is because Triple H should have lost. Triple H should have lost. He doesn't need to be wrestling anymore. Like I said, he's a CEO. She's a COO. He runs NXT. He should be just behind the scenes. He doesn't need to wrestle anymore. The fact that he runs means that he's going to be wrestling some more, and he really doesn't need to be wrestling anymore. He really doesn't. I know he loves it, but it's time for him to hang it up. And maybe someone should get to his daughters and tell Dad to hang it up, because he kind of does need to hang it up. Well, someone else who needed to hang it up was Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin was next. And again, I thought that it would have been good to see Kurt Angle go out on top, go out against Baron Corbin with a victory against Baron Corbin. But again, the time on a tradition is that when you leave something, when you leave the business, you put a guy over. And Ric Flair did it with Shawn. Shawn did it with Taker. Taker did it with Roman, although Taker came back. And Flair went to TNA and wrestled, but Kurt did the favors for Baron Corbin tonight. And yeah, so uh, uh, I definitely don't know how. Well, I know how to feel, but I definitely just feel. I feel sad that if he had the loss, he'd lose to Baron Corbin, and that you know, I'm just kind of down on it. I gave it 2 stars. It really was. So. Next was the IC title match. It was between Bobby Lashley and the Demon, Finn Balor. Pretty cool entrance from the Demon. A lot of people wanted to see the Demon entrance at night. It happened at night, so I really really cool. And these guys didn't go on too long, but they had a pretty good match for it to be so short. I gave it 2 3/4 stars. This wasn't like Lesnar and Bill Goldberg, where where you have 5 minutes of awesomeness. It wasn't like that. But this was about 8, 9, 10 minutes of just really really good stuff. So yeah, and then Finn Balor powerbombed Bobby Lashley, went to the top, gave him the coup de grace, and he wins back Intercontinental Champion. So there were rumors that they were really going to give Finn Balor a big push. So, and when Finn won the Intercontinental title, I think a lot of people was thinking that maybe that's what was going to happen. But I think that I really do think that they really wanted to get back to they really wanted to get the Demon at WrestleMania. So they figured the best way to do it is to put the title back on Bobby and then have the Demon, come back and then beat Bobby. So yeah. So that is really good. So I think now what we'll see is Finn probably get a very very lengthy reign as the Intercontinental title holder. So what I like to see him be switched to SmackDown and have him have the Intercontinental title over there, and have him, you know, some new fresh matchups. Maybe even see AJ Styles and Finn Balor for the Intercontinental title. Wouldn't that be nice? And then finally, the women's title match. With the winner take all. SmackDown Women's Champion who came in a helicopter. She arrived at MetLife Stadium in a helicopter. Charlotte Flair, the Raw Women's title holder, Ronda Rousey, and then the man Becky Lynch. And this match was good. I think this match was good. I don't think there was anything. There wasn't anything special about this match. It wasn't anything epic. It was good. I had it at three and a quarter stars. But I do say that I would say two things. I would say that one, the finish of the match I think surprised a lot of people. I think many people thought that either one, Becky was going to beat Charlotte, or two, if Becky won, or two, the way it looks like it is that it wasn't a clean victory, you know. So they might be setting up a thing where now Becky didn't really beat Ronda, you know, because Ronda's shoulder came up from the mat. The referee didn't see it, didn't stop the count. So they might be doing this bit where now there's going to be another match between Ronda and Becky, a one-on-one match, a match that everybody wanted to see. They wanted to see a one-on-one match between Becky and Ronda. So maybe they'll get that match at Money in the Bank, and then maybe everybody will be happy for that. Again, like I said with Brian, I don't get the whole Becky thing. You know, when Becky turned heel, I was for it. I was for it. I wanted it. That's what I wanted. I thought you know, I like when someone steps out of the character. You know, Becky Lynch was supposed to be this baby face and really, you know, really popular, really cool baby face. So to turn her heel would have been something to see. Like, you know, like when Sasha and Bayley were doing their stuff, I wanted Bayley the one to turn heel. I didn't want Sasha the one to turn heel. I wanted Bayley the one to turn heel because I think Bayley may have needed it. But it would have been cool to see her, you know, her heel character. So, but to have Becky Lynch turn heel, it was good. But I really do think that they did the promo the wrong night. They did it the night after SmackDown. They did it at the SmackDown after SummerSlam. If they would have done that promo a week later, Becky Lynch would be the heel. Now I think maybe some people would still cheer her, but I think she would have gotten to the point where she could have gotten booed by the crowd. But see, here's the thing: they decided to, after Evolution, they decided to kind of scrap it, right? Scrap, you know, trying to make her a heel, and then they said they were gonna just do the whole thing where she was going to be like you know, a tweener or something like that. But see, here's my thing: even though they said they were gonna do that, they didn't treat her like a baby face. No, she's basically, whether it's been on Twitter or on TV, she's been basically getting the upmanship on everybody, you know, in the company. You know, just speaking her mouth, running her mouth, and so it's really an annoying thing with her. It really is. And so I was so happy that night when Ronda turned heel and beat the living shit out of her. I loved that. I loved it because I'm not a Becky fan, and also if she's a babyface, she should have that. That should happen to her, and it just doesn't. It just doesn't. And I'm really not a big fan of her. I watched a video of her today, and I can't tell if she's in character or if she's being herself. I can't tell that. If she's being herself or she's in character. I really can't. And that's something that it's something that I want a difference. I want there to be a difference, right? I want my kayfabe with my kayfabe. I want my don't real life kayfabe. You know what I mean? Like she was sitting up there in an interview and she was telling all of this stuff. And listen, I'm not saying to expose the business about anything like that or nothing like that. She doesn't have to do that. But I mean, if when you're talking about going to wrestling school and all this other stuff, and you're talking about it as if as if you're doing it in kayfabe, it's a big turnoff. She's a big turnoff. She really is. At least for me. And like I said, everybody else loves her and good for her, but for me, she's a big turnoff. I did not want to see her win. At least not today. I would like to see her win some point down the line. But I didn't want to see her win, but she did win. Again, we'll have to wait and see what goes on with the whole shoulder up thing with Ronda and the finish and everything like that. See if that leads to anything else. So, that being said, that was WrestleMania. The show in a whole, I think was okay. I think it was solid. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything. It obviously was not going to be Takeover New York, or it wasn't going to be a lot of things. But hey, I did think that it was a okay show. I had some good times and some not so good times, and yeah, and Cena made me laugh, so entertained me. So that was good. All right, y'all. That's it for the Rebel reaction of WrestleMania 35. Thank you for Brian Harkin for being here with me for this almost 1 hour. I was almost 90-minute review of WrestleMania 35. I appreciate it. Thank you for those of y'all who come back. Gonna come back later and watch it later. I appreciate it. Make sure you post your comments down below and let me know what you thought of WrestleMania 35. Let you know what you thought about any of the matches and what you thought about. Just give me your thoughts on anything that we discussed tonight. So yeah. So once again, my NXT Takeover review. There was no live Rebel reaction Friday, so my NXT Takeover review will be up tomorrow. So make sure you click that notification bell. You'll want to hear me talk about all of the matches that went down Friday night. I'll give you a sneak hint. It was a fantastic show. I saw, I don't think there was any show that was going to top what they did. Any show. I don't care where you were at. I don't care what promotion you are. There was going to be no show that topped NXT Takeover New York. So yeah, that is it. I think what else? I think this Friday, that's a shoot. We'll come back. You'll be back in this regular form of the putting over and the bury and then the topic of the week. So that'll be back Friday, and so my voice, as I am fully, I'm gonna say that I am fully recovered, even though there's still some swelling in my neck. and I still have some neck pain and stuff like that, um, and some neck uncomfortableness, and obviously, you know, I'm not fully healed. The doctor said I don't think I won't be fully healed for at least 6 months, but but yeah, uh, I'm calling myself at least fully healed enough to try to get back into the ways of doing videos, you know, of when I can. So like I said, I'll get the NXT Takeover video for you tomorrow. I will let you know why there was not an NXT Takeover Rapid Reaction on Friday. So make sure you review that. That video might probably come Tuesday or Wednesday. So I will let you know why, and there might be some other more videos to come as well. So definitely you want to make sure that you are be here for that. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and all that good stuff. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate it so much. This is your boy AJ Trupp signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And a big fuck you once again to that guy who attacked Bret Hart. Fuck you.